The pressure in Miami has reached a boiling point. 5 straight losses have turned what once looked like a promising season into a storm of uncertainty. The spotlight is burning hot on quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, whose performances have left fans questioning whether he's still the future of the Dolphins. Once hailed as the face of the franchise, Tua now finds himself at the center of growing frustration. His $50 million a year contract was supposed to secure Miami's future at quarterback, but instead, it's become a reminder of unmet expectations. The interceptions keep piling up, and the faith that once surrounded him is beginning to crumble. Cam Newton didn't hold back when he joined the conversation. He pointed the finger directly at Tua, saying this is no longer about potential or promises, it's about results. According to Newton, Miami's problems start under center, not on the sidelines. I don't blame Mike McDaniel, he said. I blame Tua. That statement hit hard, especially considering the high hopes fans had for Tua this season. Newton's criticism wasn't just about bad throws. It was about leadership, accountability, and the inability to step up when it matters most. The Dolphins have invested everything in Tua, yet he's failed to deliver consistency, especially in big moments. Since 2022, no quarterback in the league has more multi-interception games than him, and that's not a stat any franchise player wants attached to their name. The losses have piled up, and with every missed throw and every turnover, the fan base's patience has thinned. Now whispers are turning into open calls for change. Miami fans are demanding something different, something fresh. And that something might just be Shedeur Sanders. The rookie sensation, who's been making headlines in Cleveland, has suddenly become the name on everyone's lips in South Florida. Rumors are swirling about a potential trade that could bring him to Miami, giving the Dolphins the reset they so desperately need. It's only speculation for now, but the energy around the idea feels real. Fans see Sanders as the kind of player who could inject life into a struggling team. Someone who plays with poise, confidence, and hunger, traits Tua once had but seems to have lost. Cam Newton isn't the only one seeing cracks in Miami's foundation. Reports have surfaced that head coach Mike McDaniel has quietly grown frustrated with Tua's lack of execution. His recent press comments hinted at deeper tensions within the organization. McDaniel said, "You have a job. You do your job, and you do it to the best of your ability." It was a generic coach statement on the surface, but insiders heard something more. They heard a subtle jab, a reminder that even the head coach knows Tua hasn't been holding up his end of the bargain. McDaniel's tone wasn't fiery, but it carried weight, the kind that makes a quarterback look over his shoulder. In Cleveland, the situation around Shedeur Sanders is just as tense, but for entirely different reasons. Despite his potential, head coach Kevin Stefanski has shown no interest in letting the young quarterback touch the field. In a recent blowout win, when it would have made perfect sense to give Sanders some real game experience, Stefanski chose to keep him benched. Cameras even caught him laughing and smiling as another quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, took the field. That image spoke volumes. A coach clearly more invested in his preferred player while the rookie he drafted waited in the shadows. Browns insider Ken Carman called it out, saying Stefanski's refusal to give Sanders even a few snaps made no sense. The game was already decided. The risk was zero, the potential reward huge, so why not give the kid a shot? The only logical explanation is that Stefanski doesn't want him there. If that's true, it could open the door wide for a trade. And that's where Miami enters the picture. The Dolphins are a team on the edge, desperate for a spark, and Sanders could be exactly that. Shannon Sharpe recently weighed in, saying the Dolphins front office is beginning to lose faith in Tua as their long-term answer. He believes they're actively exploring options, knowing that if they want to make a serious playoff run, they need someone who can take charge when it counts. A quarterback who doesn't flinch under pressure, who can energize the locker room, and who can reignite belief among fans who have nearly given up. Analysts around the league agree that a Shedeur Sanders trade to Miami wouldn't just make sense, it could be transformational. The Browns clearly don't see him as their future, and the Dolphins are running out of reasons to keep waiting for Tua to become the player they hoped for. It's a situation where both sides could win. For Sanders, Miami would be a fresh start, a chance to prove himself on a bigger stage. For the Dolphins, it's an opportunity to take control of a season that's spiraling out of reach. Of course, there's risk involved. Skip Bayless reminded everyone that Sanders comes with a media circus. The moment he steps onto the field, every camera, every headline, and every analyst will be locked onto him. That kind of attention can either elevate a team or tear it apart. Bayless believes that fear might be exactly why Stefanski has avoided playing him in Cleveland, and why any team trading for him needs to be ready for the spotlight he brings. But Miami, a city that thrives on energy and spectacle, might be the perfect fit. The parallels between Tua's situation and Sanders couldn't be clearer. In Miami, a star quarterback who's lost his shine. In Cleveland, a talented young player waiting to prove himself. Both stories colliding at the perfect time. It's the kind of drama the NFL lives for. The promise of redemption, the sting of disappointment, and the question of who will rise when opportunity finally knocks. As the Dolphins face another crucial week, every play, every throw, and every sideline expression from Tua will be dissected. The organization knows it can't afford to waste another season chasing potential. And if the rumors are true, Cleveland's phone might just ring sooner than expected. Because in a league that moves fast, the difference between being the guy and being replaced can come down to a single game, a single throw, or a single decision. So what do you think? Has Tua Tagovailoa reached the end of the line as Miami's franchise quarterback? Should the Dolphins pull the trigger and bring Shedeur Sanders to South Beach? Or would that move just ignite a new wave of chaos? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoy breaking down these NFL power shifts, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of the stories that are shaking up the league.